Today, I am going to talk about the current generation of world citizen. We are now in 2017. We have a very long history, and we are going to go into the future with the empowerment of long history. Gentlemen and ladies, we started some 13 billion years ago when Big Bang happened. And as human beings, we started about 70,000 years ago. And today, as we are called scientifically Homo sapiens, are at this crossroad of the happenings. And why I'm saying this crossroad, we'll eventually try to understand what it is and what are going to be the challenges of the future and what are going to be the pitfalls, what are going to be the celebration points. Let me begin with a slight insight into the past. When we started 70,000 years as human beings, not much was done. Prior to that, in terms of intellectual endeavors as human beings, we were part of any other animal on this planet. We tried to launch ourselves on the journey of intellectual creatures on this planet. And 15,000 years ago, some lady somewhere on this planet started agriculture. And that's how the journey of fast modernistic human being commenced. About 4,000 years ago, we really took off. And just recent as 1800 AD, this is what is being a currency of our time. Whatever has been done 70,000 years till 15,000 years ago, it was a DNA dominated journey of human beings. And what is that? Humans were created to consume only 2,000 to 3,000 kilocalories of energy on this planet, individual energy. That's all. Today, average American consumes about 230,000 kilocalories of energy. So our journey from 70,000 till today is completely phenomenal journey. It also has empowered us in many ways. And what is it? It brought us from 70,000 to 1800 AD, and 1800 AD onwards is what we are today. And what is that? It took 70,000 years to make us 100, that is 1 billion human beings on this planet, that is in 1800 AD. It started a scientific revolution. It also started something called climatological changes. It also started something like comfort living. It also started something like the problems of plenty. It also started with first industrial revolution, with steam engine, then IC engine, then mass production, then IT and internet. And today we are at the juncture of fourth industrial revolution. That is the short of human journey till today. In terms of living habits of this creature called human beings, we were scattered all over the planet, living in caves, then started coming together. And since then, we are congregating, coming together and staying in large numbers. In 1800, just 3% of population was living in cities and towns. In 1900, it was 14%. And today, it is 54%. In 2008, half of humanity started living in urban areas. In other words, 21st century has embarked upon a new journey, and that is the journey of urban planet. Till 2008, we were rural planet. From 2008 onwards, we are going to be urban planet. This is one. Urban planet is going to coincide with the fourth industrial revolution. I am not aware that what is going to happen in fifth industrial revolution, if at all it is going to be there. But the combined effect of urbanization, urban planet, and fourth industrial revolution is going to be our main challenge of the future. And we have to be equipped to face it in a better manner. Otherwise, it could lead to even catastrophic effects also. What we have achieved from Bronze Age, Iron Age, where our life expectancy was 26 years. Before 1940s and 50s, it was about 32 to 35 of 34 years. Today, world average life expectancy is 71 years. Huge achievement. In 1800, the carbon dioxide concentration in atmosphere was 288 ppm. Today it is 400 ppm. Not so good achievement. It is polluting the environment. So simultaneously, we are increasing the lifespan, but at the same time, we are polluting the environment and endangering human beings. So this is the history of last 200 years. With this kind of knowledge, we have to face the future. While facing the future, the humanity is not going to remain at 54% as urban planet, but eventually, when the population of this planet, which is projected to be 11.2 millions in the year 2100, about 80% people are going to live in urban India, urban world. Today, 83% people in North American continent, they are already living in urban areas, and it is moving very fast. The turbo urbanization, that's what I call it, is going to transform itself into super turbo urbanization, because next 2 or 3 decades, lot of area on this planet is going to come under urbanization. What I have been telling you is part of my experience as a planner in one of the organizations where I was working as Metropolitan Commissioner. And that is giving insights into the future as to what humanity has to do for the next 100 years or so. Today, we are occupying 3.5% of the total land mass under cities and towns, which is going to go increase up to 9.5% of the total planet into urban mass. This is going to be huge. If you consider just Africa, next 2 or 3 decades, 590% area is going to come under urbanization. It's a break speed kind of thing, and this is also very scary. Most of the urbanization is going to happen in China, India, and Africa. And it will not just provide the opportunities, but it will also going to pose some of the major challenges and problems. Post World War II, we saw emergence of middle class, and today probably the world is ruled by middle class. With the advent of fourth industrial revolution and not so declining population, we are going to have different problems on our plate. Like the middle class emergence after post World War II, in fourth industrial revolution, with artificial intelligence, cognitive analytics, 3D printing, robotics, many of the jobs are going to get vanished or transformed. Which jobs are going to get vanished? We do not know. But as per some of the estimates, 65% of the jobs that today we are looking at are going to get vanished. Probably these jobs could be replaced by some other jobs. But then, some of the jobs are going to get replaced by robotics and whatever the technologies, as I told you earlier, artificial intelligence or cognitive analytics are going to take over by them. So there is going to be net deprivation of jobs from humans to these kind of technologies in the fourth industrial revolution, and that's for the urban planet has to be equipped with. If we are not equipped as urban planet for fourth industrial revolution, then probably this disconnect between the two things moving simultaneously together as a super turbo urbanization and fourth industrial revolution could lead to something else. Combined with that, we are going to have different economies also. Today we talk about some of the developing countries developing at the rate of 6, 7, 8% of annual growth of rate. Developed world is growing around 2 to 3%, not more than that. This growth story has to end somewhere. Like some of the developed countries have stopped at the rate of 2% development rate. The developing countries at some point of time are going to stop at 2 to 3% of rate of growth. So we'll have to face a future where the world has to manage itself with no growth economy. And it's a little scary thought. We'll have to devise some different economic models wherein there is no growth, but people are sustaining and sustaining well with the kind of comforts that we have today and probably some more comforts that we'll have. And with the added population up to 11.2 billions, we have to think about all these things. So number one, that is increasing population. Two, urbanized planet. Three, fourth, industrial revolution. And change economy of this planet. These are going to be the main ingredients for future of the animal called Homo sapiens. I believe there will be solutions. If you look at the history of human beings from caves till 15,000 years ago to 1800 AD and today, it is just one-way progression, and that's we are improvising. Today, probably we are in the best time frame ever in the human history. Very few people are dying because of conflict, if you compare the percentage. Very few people are dying because of internal matters. Probably we are dying because of eating more, because by eating more, we are getting diabetes and all these kind of things, but nobody is killing us. So probably today is the most comfortable kind of time frame that we are living. And therefore, the history of 70,000 years teaches us that we can lead to a better life centuries after centuries, centuries after centuries. And therefore, I am very optimistic that the future of this planet with fourth industrial revolution, change economic models, urbanized planet, would also bring in the more comforts, more intellectual prowess, and higher level of happiness. But by saying this, will not solve the problem. We together will have to collectively understand the issues of humanity at a very deeper level. It is going to be the artificial intelligence versus human beings. It is going to be cognitive analytics versus human beings. It is going to be with the growing economy that has been experienced by this planet over last 200 years with the diminishing growth of economy. Unless we understand this, unless we think disruptively, this is going to be major disruption in thinking of humanity. Unless we do this thing, probably the things could lead to very chaotic outcomes. So the main thing that is going to stabilize this urban planet is going to be the disruptive thinking process. And I think, and I'm a firm believer that human beings are capable, or the epoch of at various junctures, for disruptive thinking. This kind of interactions, I believe, would accentuate the disruptive thinking in all segments, like urbanization. Since it is going to be urban planet, we'll have to have disruptive thinking in planning the urban areas, which is going to be, of course, the main focus on China, India, and Africa. If you do not plan it properly as urban areas, then we are going to miss the bus there also. What is it? We have to plan for least energy intensity for per capita. So it will bring down the climatic adverse effects. It will reduce the carbon footprint. It will have lesser inputs as a capital investment. So these are the parameters which were not considered for urban planning so far, or will have to be considered as the basic parameters for urbanization. And the national governments, sub-national governments, and world community will have to come out with some kind of standards for urban planet. And that urban planet, which is going to be about 80% of urbanization, is going to be the main challenge for planning also. Now, let me come to a very different thought about this. This is the normal thinking, what I have told you about the urbanization. Disruptive thinking would tell me that the projections about the planet being 80% urban could also be disrupted because with the distributive work culture, if 3D printing is going to come in with a lot of connectedness as a planet is getting developed, then people can work from anywhere for anybody. If that happens, could it reverse urbanization process? There is also a disruptive thought that it could lead to non-urbanized planet also. But then together we'll have to think about all these things. And I believe the human beings can definitely look at all the issues and they come out with the winning solutions. Thank you very much.